Are you ready to unlock the secrets of a legendary queen? Get ready to be amazed by the incredible life of Elizabeth Furry, a true icon of power and resilience. This story is packed with drama, ambition, and a queen who defied all odds. If you've ever wondered how one woman could shape an entire nation, then you are in the right place. Let's dive into the fascinating world of Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I, a queen's epic journey. Have you ever heard of a queen who ruled for over 40 years and changed her country forever? That's Elizabeth I. Her life was like a thrilling movie, full of challenges and triumphs. She was born into a royal family, but faced many dangers before she became queen. Her reign, known as the Elizabethan era, was a golden age for England. We are going to explore how she navigated a world dominated by men and made her mark on history. Prepare to be inspired. Part 1. Early Life and Hardship. Elizabeth was born on September 7, 1533. She was the daughter of King Henry VIII and his second wife, Anne Boleyn. King Henry VIII really wanted a son to be his heir. So, when Elizabeth was born, he was very disappointed. Imagine being a king and wanting a boy. But getting a girl instead, this was a big deal back then. Her mother, Anne Boleyn, had a very sad end. When Elizabeth was not even 3 years old, her mother was accused of treason and executed. This was a terrible event. After this, Elizabeth was declared illegitimate. This meant she was seen as an unlawful child and lost her right to the throne. It was a very difficult start for a future queen. She was no longer seen as a princess, but just a common child in the eyes of the law. Despite these hardships, Elizabeth was very intelligent and curious. She loved learning. She studied many subjects and became fluent in several languages. These included Latin, Greek, French, and Italian. She had excellent titles and a very sharp mind. This education would prove to be very important later in her life. It helped her to understand politics and diplomacy, which are crucial for a ruler. Imagine learning so many languages when you are young. That's how smart she was. Part 2. The path to the throne. The path to becoming queen was not easy for Elizabeth. After her father, King Henry VIII, died, her younger half-brother, Edward VI, became king. But he was very young and sickly, and he died soon after. Then her older half-sister, Mary I, became queen. Mary was a devout Catholic and tried to bring Catholicism back to England. This was a time of great religious conflict. During Mary's reign, Elizabeth faced a lot of danger. She was even imprisoned in the Tower of London because she was suspected of treason. Imagine being a princess and then being locked up in a dark tower. This was a very scary time for her. She had to be very careful and clever to survive this period. Her life was always at risk because of her Protestant faith and her claim to the throne. Finally, in 1558, something changed. Queen Mary I died without having any children. This was a critical moment for England. With Mary gone, the crown passed to Elizabeth. At the age of 25, Elizabeth became the Queen of England. This was a huge moment, as many people did not expect her to ever become queen. After all the difficulty she faced, her coronation was a moment of great joy and hope for many English people. Part 3. The Reign of the Virgin Queen. Elizabeth's reign was long and successful, lasting over 40 years. She was a very strong and intelligent ruler. Let's look at some key aspects of her rule. Religious policy. One of her biggest challenges was religion. England was turned between Catholics and Protestants. Elizabeth established the Church of England, trying to find a middle ground. She wanted to unite her people under one church. This policy was called the Elizabethan religious settlement. It wasn't perfect, and both Catholics and Protestants had some criticisms, but it brought a lot of stability compared to the past. Foreign policy and security. Elizabeth was also brilliant in foreign policy. She faced many threats from other powerful countries, especially Spain. Spain was a very strong Catholic country and wanted to conquer England. The most famous event was the Spanish Armada in 1588. This was a huge fleet of Spanish ships sent to invade England. But Elizabeth's navy, with skilled commanders like Francis Drake, defeated the Armada. This victory was a huge moment for England and showed the world England's growing power. Marriage. Elizabeth never married. She was known as the Virgin Queen. This was a very unusual decision for a queen at that time. Many people wanted her to marry and have an heir. But Elizabeth used marriage as a political tool. She would consider marrying powerful princes from other countries to gain alliances. But she never actually went through with it. She famously said she was married to England, This decision gave her immense power and prevented other countries from gaining control through a royal marriage. Culture and arts. The Elizabethan era was a golden age for culture. Elizabeth loved the arts and encouraged many writers and artists. William Shakespeare, one of the greatest playwrights of all time, lived and worked during her reign. This period saw a flourishing of theater, poetry, and music. Imagine going to the theater to watch a play by Shakespeare with the Queen herself, possibly in attendance. It was a very exciting time for the arts. Economy. Elizabeth also made England very wealthy. She supported trade and exploration. She established the East India Company, which became very powerful and helped England expand its influence around the world. This laid the foundation for the British Empire. She understood that a strong economy was essential for a strong nation. Part 4, the Scottish Queen and the End of an Era. Elizabeth had a very complicated relationship with her cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary was a Catholic, and many Catholics in England believed she had a stronger claim to the English throne than Elizabeth. Mary was involved in several plots to overthrow Elizabeth. This made Elizabeth's position very precarious. After years of imprisonment, Elizabeth eventually agreed to the execution of Mary, Queen of Scots. This was a very difficult decision for Elizabeth, but she believed it was necessary to protect her throne and the stability of England. It was a dark chapter in her reign, but one she felt she had to undertake to secure her country's future. Elizabeth I died on March 24, 1603, at the age of 69. She died without any children, which meant the Tudor dynasty, her family line, came to an end. After her death, James VI of Scotland became James I of England, starting the Stuart dynasty. Her death marked the end of an extraordinary era, a lasting legacy. Elizabeth I was an extraordinary queen. She was smart, brave, and a brilliant leader. She took a country that was divided and weak and turned it into a powerful and prosperous nation. Her reign is remembered as one of the most glorious periods in English history. She faced so many challenges, from threats to her life to attempts to invade her country, and yet she always found a way to succeed. Her legacy continues to inspire leaders and people around the world. What an incredible woman!